Hello everybody. Today I would like to tell you a short talk on situation. First, number one. First, the speaker announced that they were having a sale on specialty coffee, and the people could get 2 pounds of coffee for the price of one only that day. Next, he also announced that all of their South American and Central American blends were on sale, and he commented the coffee was available holding and ground. Finally, he said coffee was located on aisle 5 next to a produce section. However, he commented there was a limit 4 pounds per customer. Number 2. First, the speaker got the passengers' attention, and she announced that was the green light train to the airport. Next, he reminded that the specially boxes next to the door were reserved for physical challenged passengers. After that, she announced that smoking, eating, and drinking were not allowed. Finally, he also announced that next stop was the Central Square transfer, and there to the blue line for all up-down destinations. Number 3. First, the speaker reminded or remembers the soccer team that the bus to out-of-town game would leave from the front of the school at 3:15. Next, he started being on the bus and ready to go by then. After that, he announced that the computer club would be meeting in the auditorium that day, and the Spanish club would meet in the cafeteria. Finally, he announced that the graduation dance committee meeting had been postponed until the week after because the units of several of its members. Number 4. First, the speaker introduced herself, and she thought her friend had already left home. Next, he commented she had a great workout, and she was really hungry. Therefore, she said she was leaving the gym then and looking forward to dinner. After that, she announced that it would probably take her 20 minutes to get to the restaurant because she was walking, and she explained she didn't want to have to park the car. Number 5. First, the speaker suggested the people moving to the back, and he announced that the fare was $1.50 exact change only. Next, he suggested the people standing behind the white light and moving away from the door because he couldn't go anywhere until close the door. And finally, he announced that next stop was 5th Avenue and the downtown shopping district. Number 6. First, the speaker introduced painting by Picasso, and she suggested closing examination shows and the fiber brush work he had used. Next, she announced that those paintings represent some of Picasso's lesser known work and were among their more recent acquisitions. After that, he suggested continuing onto the second floor galleries where they would view woods by 19th century artists after took a restroom right next. Finally, she announced they were studying the East Room, which housed their collection of pastoral landscapes. Number 7. First, the speaker got Smith's attention and she announced that party of 4 and Smith's table was ready then. Then she suggested following her and she was sorry for keeping Smith water waiting. And next, she explained they were very busy that night and she commented they had reserved a place for Smith by the window with the view of the water. After that, she said Smith could hand Smith's course right over there. Finally, she wants to know if Smith would like to order the drinks and appetizers first. Number 8. First, the speaker asked the all swimmers to get out of the water immediately because dangerous thunderstorms were approaching. Next, he suggested parents keeping an eye on their children. And next, after that, he announced that there would be no running and no housing around near the pool, or they might have to ask the people to leave. Finally, he suggested staying away from the pool until the lifeguard indicated that it was safe to return to the water. To have the people's attention and he announced they would closing in a few minutes. Then he suggested bringing the books the people wish to borrow to the checkout desk then. Next, he reminded the people or books had checked out that day were due back on April 17th. After that, he announced there was a late fee of 25 cents a day. However, he commented the people could renew their books before their due date by calling 667 0923. Finally, he thanked the people for their patronage and he suggested coming back again soon. First, the speaker said hello to her friend and she introduced herself. Then she said she had been waiting for him at the airport. Next, he reminded him to pick her up. However, she wondered what happened. After that, he wanted to know where he was because she said he wasn't at the airport and wasn't at the office. Finally, she hoped he wasn't on his way there then because she was going to take a taxi on the office.
Hello everybody, today I would like to tell you a 10 short talk on the topic situation. Number 1. First, the speaker announced that they were having a sale on specialty coffee and the people could get 2 pounds of coffee for the price one only that day. Next, he also announced that all of their South American and Central American plants were on sale, and he commented their coffee was available whole bean or ground. And Finally, he said coffee was located on aisle 5 next to produce section. However, he commented there was limit of £4 per customer. Number 2. First, the speaker got the passenger's attention and she announced that was a green light train to the airport. Next, she reminded that the specially boxes next to the door were reserved for physically challenged passengers. After that, she announced that smoking, eating, and drinking were not allowed. And finally, she also announced that next stop was the Central Square. Transfer there to the Blue Line for all uptown destinations. Number 3. First, the speaker reminded all members of the soccer team that the bus to out-of-town game would leave from the front of school at 3:15. Next, he suggested being on the bus and ready to go by then. After that, he announced that the computer club would meet in the auditorium that day and the Spanish club would meet in the cafeteria. And finally, he announced that the graduation dance committee meeting had been postponed until the week after because of the illness of several of its members. Number 4. First, the speaker introduced herself and she thought her friend had already left home. Next, she commented she had a great workout and she was really hungry. Therefore, she said she was leaving the gym then and looking forward to dinner. After that, she announced that it would probably take her 20 minutes to get to the restaurant because she was working and she explained she didn't want to have to park the car. Number 5. First, the speaker suggested the people moving to the back and he announced that the fare was $1.50 exact change only. Next, he suggested the people standing behind the white line and moving away from the door because he couldn't go anywhere until closed door. And finally, he announced that next stop was Fifth Avenue and the downtown shopping district. Number 6. First, the speaker introduced paintings by Picasso and she suggested closing examination shows the fine brushwork he had used. Next, she announced that those paintings represent some of Picasso's lesser-known work and were among their more recent acquisitions. After that, she suggested continuing onto the second floor galleries where they would view works by 19th century artists after took restroom break next. And finally, she announced that they would start in the East Room, which houses their collection of pastoral landscapes. Number 7. First, the speaker got Smith's attention and she announced that party of 4 and Smith's table was ready then. And then she suggested following her and she was sorry for keeping Smith waiting. And next, she explained they were very busy that night and she commented they had reserved a place for Smith by the window with a view of the water. After that, she said Smith could hang Smith's coats right over there. Finally, she wanted to know if Smith would like to order drinks and appetizers first. Number 8. First, the speaker asked all swimmers to get out of the water immediately because dangerous thunderstorms were approaching. Next, he suggested parents keeping an eye on their children. After that, he announced that there would be no running and no horsing around near the bull, or they might have to ask the people to leave. And finally, he suggested staying away from the bull until the lifeguard indicated that it was safe to run to the water. Number 9. First, the speaker offered to have the people's attention, and he announced they would closing in a few minutes. Then he suggested bringing the books the people wished to borrow to the checkout desk stand. Next, he reminded the people on books had checked out that day were due back on April 17th. After that, he announced there was a late fee of 25 cents a day. However, he commented the people could renew their books before their due date by calling 6670923. And finally, he thanked the people for their patronage, and he suggested coming back again soon. Number 10. First, the speaker said hello to her friend and she introduced herself. Then she said she had been waiting for him there at the airport. Next, she reminded him to pick her up. However, she wondered what happened. After that, she wanted to know where he was because she said that he was not at the airport and was not at the office. And finally, she hoped he was not on his way there then, because she was going to take a taxi to the office.